Hi students, today we are discussing about a very important topic and most of the topic is theoretical. So please try to concentrate properly about this concept. Okay? The topic name was hysteresis. So before going to this topic, I would like to recall some concepts which are learned in the previous sections. First of all, about ferromagnetic material. We know the ferromagnetic materials are strongly attracted by the magnets and each ferromagnetic material contains certain domains. Okay, so in the absence of external magnetic field, domains are like this. The net magnetization moment is 0 if magnetizing field is 0. So it is called as unmagnetized material. Okay. Now, if you apply magnetic field, for suppose H is applied in this direction and H is here strong. If the H is strong, then all the domains are rotated in the direction of the external magnetic field. So, if H is strong, then by the rotation of domains, they aligned in the direction of H. So it has more intensity of magnetization now. If suppose the H is applied in downward direction, then all the domains now they are turned in the direction of the external magnetic field now. So they are now becomes in this direction. So rotation of domains are takes place by the effect of the external magnetic field. So here H is called as magnetizing field. Okay. Next, another important thing is about the solenoids. So I am considering a solenoid and N be the number of turns per unit length. If suppose I is the current passes through the solenoid, then inside the solenoid it creates a magnetizing field H, and this magnetizing field depending on the current. So if the current increases, H is also increases because they are directly proportional to each other. If I increases, H also increases. Clear? Now let us try to apply an alternating source to this solenoid. Okay, this is the AC source. If you apply AC source, what happens? Alternating source indicates with time current is varies sinusoidally. That means the current is in this manner. See here, current here 0 and with respect to time increases, current also increases, reaches a maximum value here. After that current continuously decreases, becomes 0 here, and now during this half cycle, direction of current changes. Whenever direction of current changes and it is continuously increases, reaching again a maximum value here. but in opposite direction. So here a minus I naught coming, here plus I naught coming, and after that continuously decreases, becomes 0. So I is oscillates between plus I naught and minus I naught. Whenever I is varies, H also varies now. So here the H varies from Hs to minus Hs. S indicates saturation. So saturation magnetizing field. Hs is named as saturation magnetizing field. So plus Hs to minus Hs, it will be continuously varies. So H oscillates here. Okay. So beginning 0, after that reaching Hs maximum value, again 0, after again reaching minus Hs in opposite direction, after that Hs is 0. Clear? Because H is directly proportional to the current I. Okay. Now this is about ferromagnetic material and this is about the solenoid which is connected to the AC source. Now we are doing one thing. Within the solenoid, I would like to place the ferromagnetic material. Okay, this is ferromagnetic substance. Whenever a ferromagnetic substance is placed in solenoid, that means solenoid gives the magnetizing field H now. Due to this, inside the ferromagnetic material, always there exists some induced magnetic field B. Okay, so within ferromagnetic substance, induced magnetic field is developed. This is called B, or I am using another word called intensity of magnetization, simply magnetization. Okay, B or I related to the ferromagnetic material, H related to the solenoid. Understand? Now, let us try to understand the concept by taking a graph. So in this direction I take H and along Y direction I take B or I. Okay, we know ferromagnetic materials are strongly attracted by the magnets now, and its intensity of magnetization is always very high and it is changes non-linearly with the H. That means initially H is 0, then it is an unmagnetized material. H increases continuously by increasing the current. So whenever current is increases, H increases and reaches a maximum value of Hs now. That's why here I also increases and it reaches a maximum value. So here this is called Hs, saturation magnetizing field, and a corresponding value of B is called as Bs. Okay, saturation magnetization. Okay, saturized magnetization. Understand? Okay, Is is called as saturation magnetization. Now it reaches this point now. Current now decreased. H also decreased. Whenever H decreases, these domains are now aligned in decreasing position, means they are again come back to their original position. Due to this, what happens? when H decreases, B also decrease, but they follow a new path called like this. So let it will be OA and now it is OC. See here, OC, which indicates that retentivity or residual magnetism. What is OC? OC indicates retentivity or residual magnetism. What is the mean of OC? See, at this place, H is 0 now. Even H 0, the material has some intensity of magnetization. For example, take a magnet and this magnet is connected to with pin. Pin is attracted by it now. Now you are connect another pin there. Now without disturbance the system, if you remove the magnet, even though those pins are connected with each other, means even in the absence of external magnetic field, there is some magnetization present in the specimen. That magnetization present in the specimen is named as retentivity or residual magnetism. Okay. Now this reaches this point. After that, because H0 na, reaches this point. Now H is increased in opposite direction. H increase in opposite direction means until now H direction in this way. Now the direction of H will be converted in this way. If H coming in this direction, then all the domains now try to again flipped until B value 0. Okay, let this point is named as the D. So OD, what is this? OD. OD is called as coercivity. OD is named as coercivity. What is the meaning of coercivity? At this point D, B value is 0 na? Okay, along y direction the value is 0. But along x-axis it has some negative values now. Okay, understand? So this OD is measure of magnetizing field required to destroy the retentivity. Again, what is coercivity? Coercivity is the measure of amount of magnetizing field required to destroy the residual magnetism. So at this place B0, which indicates again the material is unmagnetized. Now H is increased in negative direction. Graph will be continued in the negative direction in the similar manner as first one and reaches one point E. Here again we got the minus Hs. Okay. Again if H decreases, then this graph will be continued like this and reaches the E. Understand? So here this A, C, D, E over F, G. So the loop A, C, D, E, F, G, A is called as hysteresis loop. This loop name is hysteresis loop. Understand? A, C, D, E, F, G, A. This loop is named as hysteresis loop. During this entire process, what happened? Clearly, a ferromagnetic material which is unmagnetized placed inside the magnetizing field H. Then these domains are rotated in the direction of magnetizing field. For rotation of these domains, they are using certain amount of energy because work has to be done to rotating these domains now. So they are using certain amount of energy during this process. Okay, so there is some loss of energy for getting this cycle. The loss of energy is named as hysteresis. Okay, so what is hysteresis? Hysteresis is nothing but loss of energy. Why this loss of energy? Because this loss of energy due to the work done by magnetization and demagnetization of a ferromagnetic substance due to the application of oscillating magnetizing field. Okay, let us write the definition of hysteresis. So, what is hysteresis? It is loss of energy due to work done during magnetization and demagnetization of a ferromagnetic substance under effect of oscillating magnetic field. The word of hysteresis, which is came from Greek word, the meaning of hysteresis is lagging behind. Lagging behind comes late. Comes late. See here, B is always follows the H. B or I always follows the H. This is called hysteresis. Okay, hysteresis is nothing but loss of energy. Okay, and here the area of this hysteresis curve is there now. The area of hysteresis, that curve, that means this is entire area. This entire area is proportional to the thermal energy per unit volume. Okay, the area of BH curve is always proportional to the thermal energy per unit volume of the specimen. Okay, this is about hysteresis. Clear? So during hysteresis, what we done? A ferromagnetic substance placed inside a solenoid which carries the alternating current. Due to this, current increases continuously. H also increases continuously and reaching the maximum value. After that, H continuously decreases, becomes 0, and H direction is now reversed. So initially in this direction, now the direction of H is reversed, continuously increases, reaching a maximum value of minus Hs and again continuously decreases. Okay. Now, whenever you are placing a ferromagnetic substance within the magnetizing field H, initially it is unmagnetized. After reaching Hs, domains are in this way. If the Hs is in opposite direction, then domains will be like this. During this entire process, what happens? Rotation of domains takes place. For this, they are using certain amount of energy. That loss of energy is named as hysteresis. Okay. In the graph, the important thing was the magnitude of OC and OD. Here OC is named as retentivity. The meaning is if H is 0, it has some I value. So it is defined as the intensity of magnetization present within the specimen even magnetizing field is 0. Okay, and OD indicates the amount of magnetizing field required to destroy this retentivity. Understand? Note it down. So on the basis of these properties, the ferromagnetic materials are divided into two parts. One is permanent magnets. Another one, temporary magnets. Permanent magnets are also called as the hard magnetic materials. And these are called soft magnetic materials. Okay, the best example for permanent magnet is steel, and for temporary magnet is soft iron. Permanent magnet is steel and temporary magnet is soft iron. Now, we understood certain properties until now. We are discussing some properties like permeability, susceptibility, now only we discuss about retentivity, coercivity, and hysteresis loss. So how these properties are varies for permanent magnets and temporary magnets. So for permanent magnets, permeability is high, susceptibility is high, retentivity high, coercivity high, and the most important, hysteresis loss also high. So it requires more amount of work done to magnetization and demagnetization of the specimen. So loss is more here. Okay, but for temporary magnets, permeability is high, susceptibility is also high because ferromagnetic materials always has permeability is greater than 1, susceptibility is positive and high. But retentivity is low, coercivity is low, loss is also low. So whenever the hysteresis loss is less, we are regularly using the temporary magnets compared with the permanent magnets. Okay. So is there any examples for this permanent magnets where we are using these permanent magnets? Permanent magnets are generally used in, they are used in ammeter, voltmeter, and galvanometer. In these devices will be available, and we are wearing the microphone na, loudspeakers. So microphone and in loudspeakers we are using the permanent magnets. Temporary magnets, large cans to take the containers in the ships now, they are using the temporary magnets there. So the major use of temporary magnets in the preparation of transformers and electric bells. Okay, so temporary magnets are used in transformers and electrical bells, and permanent magnets are generally used in the loudspeakers, microphone, ammeter, voltmeter, etc. Okay, so ferromagnetic materials divide two types. One is permanent magnets, another one is the temporary magnets. Steel is one of the best example for permanent magnet. Soft iron is best example for temporary magnets. Okay, and the properties are for permanent magnets are like this and temporary magnets are like this. We are regularly using the temporary magnets. Okay, the hysteresis cycle for Permanent magnets means steel is, the shape of the graph will be like this, the hysteresis loop. Okay, it is tall and narrow. Tall means having the retentivity value is more and coercivity value is also more for soft iron. Tall and narrow for soft iron, but for steel the diagram will be like this. Okay, this is for steel, tall and wide. Okay, so this is the graph drawn between the I and H for steel and soft iron. Okay, here it has more value of retentivity and more value of coercivity. Here less value of retentivity and less value of the coercivity. Okay, understand? This is about hysteresis and types of ferromagnetic materials. Thank you.